Eclipse season. Bitcoin astrology is leaning positive, but the gold all-time high could cause trouble. All right, guys, I wanted to come on here during the eclipse season. We are right between the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse, and we have a Mercury retrograde. So if you're like me, you're feeling a little tired. Mercury retrograde can cause fatigue, especially in Pisces. There's a lot going on in Pisces. And confusion, things like that. Maybe sometimes we feel like we can't think super straight. It's not a super good time during Mercury retrograde to be signing contracts or making a huge major life decision or big commitment like buying a home or, I don't know, buying a new business or something. So good morning, good evening, crypto astronauts, depending on where you're tuning in from, and welcome back to the Bitcoin and crypto paradise. All right, this is not financial advice. This content is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. All right, so first off, those tuning in live, let me know what questions you have in the comments, and I will get to those soon. But I'm looking at the total market cap here. And as you can see, we have gotten up to, well, we went past the 0.786 Fibonacci level, which is very bullish, but obviously we're getting this correction. This is on the monthly, so far in the beginning of April, we've gotten a major correction here, which is quite normal, but we should not go below the 0.618 because when we take a look back at the previous cycle, we did not go below that. As you can see, when we broke through these levels, we got to the 0.786. We just busted through within a month. And we did not go below the 0.618. So doesn't mean that history has to repeat, but we want to see that. I mean, if things are going to remain bullish, hopefully we should stay above this 0.618. So we'll see what happens there. How soon could we hit an all-time high with the entire crypto market cap? Well, that depends on, a lot on the altcoins. But last time it only took a month. I mean, once we busted through the 0.786, we got to the all-time high. We poked through the all-time high. So this is the month to do it, April. We want to see, by the end of April, we want to see it busting through here. Good news is, when we take a look at the astrology, that is possible. Okay, because we're getting pretty positive astrology. All right, I might as well give you guys the goods. Definitely hit the like button if you want me to go through the Bitcoin astrology right now and show you the secrets of the stars. And if you're new here, definitely subscribe. So I'm going to be giving a ton of value here for free. All right, so here's the Bitcoin astrology. Here we go. Drum roll. Brrr. So we have the eclipses right here, marked with these two white things here. So the solar eclipse, total solar eclipse is happening on April 8th. And in Texas, there's going to be a lot of people, millions of people having a good old time in Texas and some other states in the United States who are going to see this total solar eclipse. And I can't wait to see videos. I wish I could be there. Let's wish the best for everyone viewing this spectacular event. And definitely pray for safety for everybody. It's going to be a packed crowd, I imagine. Well, there's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so what is the Bitcoin astrology saying? So the good news is we have some very positive transits for Bitcoin coming in here. We have Uranus trining the Bitcoin Saturn, which is very positive. And so this is happening. It's starting now. It's in effect right now, but it's getting a direct hit on April 19th, my father's birthday. And we are also getting, the day after the eclipse, almost exactly on the eclipse, super bullish transit, Jupiter sextile the Bitcoin Uranus on April 9th. So we could, just based on the astrology, unless there's some major crazy world event that shocks the markets, which is also very possible actually, and I can show you why in a second. But if we do get some crazy events or whatever happens, looks like more than likely, it's more than likely that we're going to get a pump. We're going to get a pump out of this solar, oh shoot. Whoops, I clicked the wrong button. More than likely we're going to get a pump here. And if we go to the weekly chart, you know, we did get this dump in the last week. We should be getting out here. And we want to see that happen pretty quickly. Because as you can see with the trends here, we want to get out of here. We want to see something like this. Jeez, my computer's going slow right now. And what we don't want to see is we go up here and we just get rejected and then we start coming down. So there's kind of two scenarios, but definitely very strongly leaning towards this scenario where we head up again. A new all-time high is possible. It's not guaranteed. It's possible that more of the action goes to the altcoins. That is definitely possible, but we will see what happens. And let's see, we also get, so yeah, towards the end of April, second half of April is very bullish. Around April 19th, April 20th, we're getting very bullish transit. We're also getting Jupiter trining the Bitcoin Saturn. Very nice. But then at the tail end of April, we're getting this negative transit here. Jupiter squaring the Bitcoin Neptune. As well as this one, Uranus squaring the Bitcoin Neptune as well. And Neptune can be the planet of confusion. It can cause a lot of confusion. So especially when it gets a square, which is kind of more of a negative aspect. So man, we could see a pump up in April, maybe a couple pumps, and then we could see a dump heading into May. It's certainly possible. That's what it's looking like. What do you guys think? How you guys doing out there in the cryptoverse? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what questions you have. So there is one thing in particular that could cause trouble for these crypto markets. And I'm going to show you here. I did mention it in the title. So it's gold. What is going on here with gold? Gold is just shooting up. And this is not what we typically see when crypto is in a major pump. So very strange that gold is just pumping for the last few weeks. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 weeks. Bitcoin has, gold, not the digital gold, but real gold has been pumping. This is not typical because if we look back in the previous bull market, Bitcoin hit an all-time high. Let me get the arrow here. The last bull run, Bitcoin hit an all-time high around here, this red arrow. And as you can see, gold was going downwards. Gold was going this way. And it did not hit an all-time high. So Bitcoin was in a bull run for this period here. You know, Bitcoin hit an all-time high, and then crypto was in a bull run all the way through the end of, 2021, arguably, all the way to there. And then when when gold started pumping up again, really marked the bear market for crypto. Can zoom in here. And then that's interesting. Gold was going down. I mean, it's not exactly correlated, but it's pretty close. When gold headed down in 2022, really everything was heading down. So everything was going down, including crypto. Then gold started going up, but it did not. I mean, I guess it poked a new all-time high, but it did not get much higher. So then it fell down again. And during this time, crypto and altcoins, this is around where Solana just shot off to the moon. Crypto was doing very well. But now what's weird is gold has not only gotten a new all-time high. Well, it poked through, it got a new all-time high. Then it fell down here. And crypto was doing very well when gold was falling there. But now gold is just going off on a tear here. And that's strange. All right, so there's potential red flags here. All right, because, ideally we want to see it falling down. So when gold starts to correct down, could be more bullish. Let's look at the S&P 500. Okay, that's doing very well. We're seeing a little correction in the macro markets here, not much. Dow Jones, getting a correction there. Nothing too crazy. Russell 200, this is also a bit nerve-wracking. As the last few times Bitcoin and crypto went off on a crazy bull run to all-time highs, the Russell 2000 was also hitting an all-time high. So we need to see the Russell 2000 hit an all-time high. Typically, if we want to see crypto and altcoins do that. And then finally, another thing that we need typically is, let's bring up, because we need the Fed to start cutting rates. But not just that, we need them to cut rates much lower so that they can start printing money again. And so typically, well, let me pull this up. You know, the Fed funds, they've been raising rates for the last couple years, and they're pausing right now. The last time they were pausing like this was back here in 2019. And it was from here to here that they were pausing. And as you can see, Bitcoin went off on a run. But then once they started cutting, Bitcoin went down. And it wasn't until COVID that the Fed fully dropped the rates. And then around this area, and this time was when the Fed started printing money like crazy. The money printer was going, and then that sent crypto off into this crazy bull run. And typically there's major world events that happen that give a reason for the Fed to cut rates like this. So, additionally, given the eclipses that are happening, we could see some major world events. We already saw in the United States a major bridge that collapsed that is potentially going to block a major supply chain harbor in the United States. And arguably that could be a pretty bad thing. But we'll see what's going on there. There's some conspiracy theories about that. I don't have any confidence or clarity on what's going on there. I'll have to do some more research. But you guys can check that out. Okay, sweet. We got some people on here. Let's look at the comments here. What price do I have my 0.618? NASA is launching rockets into the Eclipse path. That is sketchy. What is going on? If we dump in May, how much lower can we go? That's a pretty good question. Yeah, we could definitely dump in May. Heading into the summer. Sell in May, go away. Is that the saying? So, I mean, we could see something like this, like a double top or something like that, before we start to head back down. How low could we go? Let's take a look. Let's take a closer look at the charts. I like to say it in an announcer voice. So let's look at the 50% levels. If we bring this down, you know, first level of resistance could be around 62,000. I mean, we already hit below that level. When we head below that, it's certainly possible. Could be around 56,000. And then below that, if we keep going below that, around 48,000. Me and my colleagues as well are thinking that 48,000 is probably the lowest we can go, most likely. Yeah, so I mean probably 48,000. If we go below that, we don't want to make any weekly close or definitely no monthly close below 48,000. That would be big trouble. So we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see, but you know, perhaps we could do something like this. Certainly possible. But let's see how much of a correction that would be percentage-wise. If we go down here, I mean, yeah, we could, 25% would be a nice healthy correction. If we go to like 30%, maybe 51,000. If we got to 48,000, that's pushing it. That's 34%. It's possible, but probably less likely. But who knows, if we had a black swan event similar to COVID of 2020, could definitely have this. Okay, my daughter is whining in the background, but let's go a little bit further. The COVID collapse was, wow, 60%. So I guess that's less likely. I mean, we can't necessarily guess a black swan event because the definition is that they're unpredictable. But so that's what I'm thinking. In the 50s, it's certainly possible, but probably no lower than 48,000. That's what I'm going to say. Okay, do I think the eclipse could cause a dump like for Luncy and FYX eclipses? Do you mean the FTX eclipse back in, when was that, 2022? Certainly, it's possible. But the fact that Bitcoin has such positive astrology shows that maybe if we do have a major world event, maybe it'll pump Bitcoin. Certainly possible. She's feeling the retrograde. Okay. How is the CRO astrograph looking? I don't have the astrograph for CRO. I would need the day and time of the Genesis block if you would want me to pull up a astrology chart for it. It's kind of complicated. It's pretty complicated to actually find the exact time and day of the Genesis block for a cryptocurrency. It takes some digging. It takes quite some deep digging sometimes. Okay, let me answer this question. What price do I have for the 0.618? Well, in the beginning I was talking about the total market cap, so let's do that. So it's the market cap price. Let's see. Oh, the 0.618. So that would be right here. 2.138 for the total market cap. So 2.138 trillion. We don't want to go below this line. That's the line in the sand. And so far we are holding up just fine. And we'll see what happens. Okay. Here's the Bitcoin chart. Oh. Well, I guess I already showed this, but let's go out a little bit further. I'm going to give you guys a super bonus here. Since you're tuning in live, let's take a look at, I usually don't do this. Let's go a little bit further out for the Bitcoin astrology. Bonus level here. We do get a bit of a positive transit at the end of May. But then at the same time, Bitcoin gets this slight negative. Okay, here's the big problem for this summer, is we're getting Saturn conjunct the Bitcoin Uranus. That is super negative. And that's happening through June and July, heading into August. So summertime could be lows. We could see dumps, big dumps, possibly like we did in 2021. Remember when Bitcoin dumped like crazy? So, I mean, that's hinting that we could see something like this. We could see, let's take a look back at 2020. You guys remember this, right? We were heading up here, we're like all-time highs, woo! And we're like, we're still going up. And then it just went like, boom. Wow, 50% drop. Holy moly, and that happened in the summer. Whew, are we gonna see that again? It's possible, guys, I cannot rule that out. Geez, if we got a 50% drop from the peak here, oh my God. That would be back to 36,000. That would not be good. I don't know if we're gonna, that would be pretty crazy. If that happened, perhaps we could get like a drop down there really fast, but then we'd want to end the weekly close like ideally above like 48,000. We'd have to get all the way back up here. I don't know, guys. I don't know if we're going to get a 50% drop, but who knows? Bitcoin always surprises. It's the great equalizer. I don't know. I just came up with that. Man, I mean, I can't say that. I can't say we're going to see a 50% drop, but all I can say with the astrology does not give price predictions, guys. I can't predict prices, but I can predict when we're going to go down and when we're going to go back up, basically. So it looks like in the summer we're going down. I don't know how far. I cannot tell you how far. That's just within the bounds that I'm dealing with. Astrology does not give price predictions. But, you know, we could possibly see a 30% drop. We'll see. The good news is heading, you know, what we've seen so far is like a 19% drop and a 21% drop. We have not seen any like 50% drops. This was 24% or 21%. All right, so perhaps we'll just see like 20%. But we've already seen, oh, actually this is pretty good news that we've already seen a healthy 17% drop. So perhaps, since we're already dipping some, perhaps the next, in May or in the summer, perhaps it's not gonna be too crazy. Perhaps it's not gonna be a 50% drop because we're already getting these healthy dips. Let's see what happened back in 2021. Oh my God. Computer's starting to slow down. I'm gonna get a new computer soon, guys, so we can speed this up. Okay. My wife is saying it's dinner time. Hilarious. Wouldn't that make it altcoin season if Bitcoin's dumping? That's certainly possible. Yeah, that's, I mean, we could see altcoins going off on a super run in May, because we do see some very positive astrology for multiple altcoins in May and possibly even into June. So yes, it could be a giant double top. Exactly. Let's leave it at that, guys. It could be a giant double top. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Definitely subscribe if you're new here. Check out my crypto Astro retreat coming up in September. There's still early bird tickets for that. Definitely like this video and share it with someone you care about. And I will see you on the next Crypto Astro video. Much love, guys. Thanks so much for showing up here live. Peace.